All right, so
back to the plan.
How do you all, individually or as a team, plan to go about finding your way to the next island? Do you work together? Do you split up like you do normally? Like, we talked a little bit on the side about some ways that you guys can manipulate things together, but at the same time, you guys have been kind of also benefiting from splitting your odds because that technically gives you twice the chances.
Mm-hmm.
So, up to you guys, but you guys are here. You now understand the level of people you're dealing with. You know, these are all nobles. So, essentially, kind of a rundown. You'll see anywhere from captains of crews and of vessels and of ships. Mm-hmm. You seem to also see owners of ships, not necessarily people that are on the ship, but people that say own one or more. There are many people who seem to also work at the docks who also conduct a lot of the, who gets to go to what dock and gets what unloading crew. So a lot of high-level people are here that are coming from, the far side from that map, that far side for the trading area. So you have a lot of different high-class people here, and here you are, well-known people from where you're from. But yeah, so how would you go about discovering a good way? So you're here and you want to get to a different island. So what is your intent? How are you going to do so?
Well, I've a couple of, hypotheses. If we're going in here, I think that we could potentially use our position as, entertainers to secure us passage. Just basically saying that we're off to do a show in this place, and I would like for you to take us to this place. And I think the biggest potential hurdle we might have is if people, want to find out too much information or like ask too many detailed questions about, why we're going there, who we're doing whatever with. But, we could come up with something to say for that.
Okay, so essentially, you intend to openly walk around and just ask, hey, I am such and such. I need to be on this island.
I'm going to do a performance. I'm going to do a performance on this island.
But the idea is that, I get the story, but the idea is you're going to be very open about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Are you going to follow suit, or do you think that you would do a different route and try to find passage?
No, I think we could probably roll with that.
Okay. Is there any specifics to your plan, or are we just going, again, are you just going to kind of go up and, are you going to take lead, or who's taking lead? How do you want to present the story?
I'll leave that up to you.
The manager?
As the manager.
Okay, so Alla will be going, Alla wants to kind of take the more direct approach. You agree with him. Dafia agrees. But you both kind of agree that as the manager, you should take a lead on the diplomacy.
Well, I was going to ask, do you want to go the way of like saying, all right, so these are like the facts and the figures and this is the why we need to go here. Because I'm not, as a part of like the...
So you're going to take lead on the conversation, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. So, if you guys are going to go open about it, let's go ahead and have you make a percentile roll.
Just a flat percentile?
Yes. And then both of you make a charisma check. So your percentile roll will see what you get from the crowd and who you get introduced to. And then your charisma check will see how much.
Ooh. What? What'd she get?
That's a 34.
It is a 34. I mean, I did buy something cool yesterday.
Fair point. Okay. I will take that into consideration.
Oh, shoot.
Alright, so they said a wisdom check?
Charisma. And what was your charisma check?
I'm getting it. Charisma.
10 out of 16.
Can somebody else? I don't want to move.
Yeah, that's a 20.
Wow, okay. With your ability to locate the right people and your ability to just be yourself...
Really sell the story.
Essentially, what we get across is you know who to look for, who's the bigwigs in here. Mm-hmm. And really you have a presence all in of yourself with that charisma check. I mean, your charisma is very managerial. It's very, it's not unattractive. It's just not appealing or standout-ish.
Yeah.
So I will say that you guys were actually able, through all of that, been introduced to pretty much the person in charge of these three. You guys were able to get straight to the point.
All right.
So you actually were able to find 3 people that claim that they can do it for you. The first, Garrett. And Garrett is the captain of the Gentle Jammer.
Wow.
And he says that he can get you there in about 3 days.
3 days?
And the price for him would be 75 gold each per day. The next, you would meet Clyde.
Clyde?
Clyde. Keeping up there, Alo?
Type faster!
CLYD?
Yeah. E, yes.
DE?
Yes.
Okay.
Clyde.
And he says that he runs Through the Looking Glass travel company.
Ha! That's a good name.
And he says that he can get you there, he could have you scheduled there by tomorrow afternoon. And then...
How much?
Oh, that one would be 200 gold apiece. And then there's a bit of an odd fellow there.
200 gold apiece period or per day? Oh, because it's tomorrow. It's only the one day.
Yeah, it would just be, it's a flat fee.
200 gold.
So that's the best option so far, out of the two.
And then there's somebody else there. Somebody who stands out just a little bit odd. And they don't really reveal who they are. They just say that they run a business called Portable Portation.
Wait, what?
Portable Portation.
These guys. I want to go with these guys.
And
what?
Hold on, I gotta write that.
They can get you there and back at any time.
Oh my gosh, that's great. How much?
For the round trip option, it's 500 each. All gear is free. Or 1 magical item per person. Of any nature.
Okay.
That's not equivalent. Our magical items are worth way more than that.
That's why it's of any nature. We don't need a certificate of authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
Magical items are... As long as it's legit and it's legal, it's like, that's worth it to anybody, even though it's not normal currency.
Right.
It's still something that is valuable, regardless of how much it is, somebody will pay something for it.
So...
Interesting.
What about items made by magic? And the like. Is that considered a magical item?
Roll me a persuasion check. Okay. I'm assuming that's what you're bringing to his attention? Using that? Okay. Roll a persuasion.
Let's see. Let me see. Persuasion. And it's 2. Oh, I matched it.
With the -2?
Yeah.
Perhaps. What might be this item?
A magical
Okay, so
spell?
mentally to you, I'm calling back to the fact that I have a...
She's talking about my copy spell, because I could just basically copy any plain piece of paper with a spell on it and say, here you go.
Yeah, because you can do that, and then we could even sell it a little bit further if he's not quite sold on the magical part about it. Is that she could use animate objects and make them do, like, crazy stuff to make it look like it's fancier magic than it actually is.
The copy spell won't work because it's not a magical item, it's a magical spell.
But
Yeah,
that's
what I
that's what
asked.
she said, made by magic. So that piece of paper
So
with
if
that
he made-
all the writing on it was made by magic.
So does that make it a magical item?
No.
That's what she was asking about.
No, but were you suggesting using animate object to be like, oh, hey look, a dancing chair. That's magical, right? Are you saying, are you trying to...
Yeah, I mean, we can try that too.
I was thinking that too. Heck
That
yeah.
works.
Who has animate object?
I do.
As a psionic?
Yeah.
Okay. How are you going to present that? Are you going to present it with like a command spell or something?
Well, does she need to? Okay.
No. He makes a scroll. Create something that looks like a scroll and just open it and be like, blah, blah, blah. And she'll do it at the same time so that it would...
Well, no, because he wants a magical item.
Oh.
So how do you make... So the idea is I like this. So what item are you going to use?
So you make a scroll that says dancing chair on it.
Okay.
And you hand him the scroll, it says scroll to cast dancing chair. And if he tries to, like, check to make sure it works, then she could, like...
But see, that's a spell, though. He doesn't want a spell. He wants an actual magical item.
Well, isn't a scroll like a magical item?
No.
How about this? How about
My idea of the world is skewed.
A magical item is an item that has all of the magic within itself. You just have to usually say or activate it, and it does everything for you.
Let me ask you this: Could she just present like not even a chair? Like if I made some like origami, right? So I made some origami, and I just have this tiny little thing, and she animates it, and we could say, "Hey, this is a little magic dancing thing," and she just makes a dance every once in a while. You know, and just say, hey, this is your magical item. And then when we leave, like, boom, that's it. We're done. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
It was magical when I gave it to you.
What's your distance on animate object?
Let's gotta reference some material here. Area of effect, 1 object, 100 pounds, range 50 yards.
50 yards, okay. So... Are you just going to have the item constantly animated until you're out of range? Or are you going to... How are you going to present it as the magical item itself? Is it just something that's constantly animated?
That's a good point, because I don't think I have enough PSP to sustain that for too long.
Shit.
So
your question is, how are we presenting our item?
So I like that. So you have an item that you want to present as magical. Mm-hmm. So have you chosen what item that you want to present as your magic item?
Oh, I got a perfect idea. We will say it has 1 use per day, and we'll use that use to show them what it does.
Okay. What will it do? And what is it? So what's the item?
It is... I'll just make legit, I will just make 2 little origami, like, paper men, and one will be mine, and one will be hers. And we will give it to them as our magical items, and what will happen is, we will use the use per day for both of them, and they will, like, go up to each other, and then they'll bow. And then that was it. I don't know. I just made that up. They can do whatever. Like,
I mean, you're the one with animate objects, so he presents you an idea. So what would you be able to do with whatever he makes? What do you think you could do with it that his once per day would make worth it?
I feel like it would be...
And can you do 2 objects at once?
I think so. I just have to cast it again, I guess.
Okay, so yeah, as long as if you can just pay for the 2 of them, that's awesome.
I mean, depending on what it's made out of, makes it a little bit harder. Like, cloth and paper is the best, because that's easier to move.
Cool.
What was this original price again, though?
$500 each.
Which is the most expensive.
But round trip.
For a round trip, pass any time.
That's, like, instantly, anytime, both ways.
There and back, yeah.
And is that to use at our free will?
Yeah.
So we use it once to go there.
And let's get back.
Okay, and there's no time between once we use it once, the second time we use it. There's no time between that.
Correct.
No time limit.
Correct.
Okay. Just clarifying.
And gear is free, so all the gear you can bring with you.
Yeah.
But it's per person.
Oh.
So the first option was...
And there technically is 3 of you.
That's true.
As of right now. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. So the first option was 75 gold per person.
Per day.
Per day.
And it'll take 3 days.
3 days. So 75, that's a lot.
That's a lot. It's more than any of them.
Well, that's 150 for the first 2 days, and then plus 75, so that's 225 per person total. And it's going to burn 3 days.
Yep.
But that's just to go there.
And that's just to go there.
So double that to come back, if they're willing to stay there.
And depending on how long it takes you, they may charge you to stay.
Yeah. So 500...
So imagine, imagine it's most likely going to be that same 75, if not more, per day that you're not coming back. So if you think, hey, we're going to be here for 3 days, It's probably going to still be $75 per day.
Per person?
Per person.
So what was the second option? Because the second option sounded way better.
Second option was through the looking glass, and he'll have us there tomorrow afternoon for 200 gold.
Per person.
Per person.
So if we go back and talk to him and see what more of his rules and restrictions...
Getting back is your problem.
He can't bring us back.
That's a one-way trip.
Okay. Well, that's not really an option, because...
Slightly cheaper than the first and faster than the first, but doesn't guarantee you anything on the way back. You'll have to figure that out on the other side.
Is this other island we're going to populated? Do we know?
Yeah, it's the vacation island. It's a super rich vacation island. So it's like going to the Bahamas.
There would be options.
You would assume that this place will probably even have better options. But that's why it's kind of one of those. It's a risky option because there's no guarantee of coming back.
Are we planning on going to each island and then coming back home and then going to each island and then coming back home?
If there was a way to just go to each individual island, like one right after another, I would definitely do that. I mean, we don't need to come back every single time.
Well, because that's what I'm saying. Like, if this guy can get us to the Island of Light first, and then the next person there we talk to takes us to the other island, and then once, depending on if the other island's populated...
Right.
See if we can...
Just keep going in sequence?
Yeah.
I would ask the portal people, could they...
Portal people?
Yeah.
Oh, third person.
The portal portations. If their stuff is so instant, could we, for another magical item each, could we get one that would take us to each island before it ran out of uses?
4 percentiles.
So wait, what are you proposing again?
I am saying that the portal people can currently get us to the first island and back instantly. Yeah. And so my question is, if I give you another magical item, would you possibly be able to make whatever that equipment that you would give me that ability, be able to take me to this first island, and then to the second island, and then to the third island, and then back home before it ran out of its uses?
Yeah.
That's what I'm proposing. 7.
Odd 7?
Yes.
Nope.
Okay.
So did he even say if he could get us back? He said he could bring us back, right? Yeah.
Portable portation? Yeah, there and back.
Okay, so...
Round trip ticket.
That was 500 per person?
Correct.
Or magical artifact.
Or magical item.
Okay. So we would need 6 magical items. No.
3.
3.
And
6,
unlimited stuff.
9, 12.
12?
If we... You said 3...
yeah, for all the trips. I see what she's trying to say.
9. There's only 3 islands, right? Or are we going to 4 islands?
There's 3 islands. Yeah, but we do have to get back here.
So 9. We would need 9 magical items for all 3 of us to go to each island.
Well, that's also assuming that he'd be able to give you a ticket to each island.
Oh.
Can you give tickets to each island?
Roll percentiles.
40.
He would say that he's only been to the Isle of Light and the Garden Isle, so he would be able to give you 1 to the Garden Island in addition. The same price.
500. So we pay 500 and we get 1 to both islands?
No. Same price for each.
Oh. Yeah. So it'd be double.
Yeah.
Yeah, so double everything. He can give you 1 to the Island of Light and to the Garden Island.
So it'd be 6.
6, yeah. Which is fine, because the third island, we can just come... Once we come back, we can find another option to go there.
Yeah.
Well, and technically the second island's the one that you don't have yet.
Yeah.
He can get you to the first and the third.
Oh, I didn't realize we had to...
Yeah, so there's still 1, but his idea, Aldo's idea, was to come back and look at the seedy place to see if they could get you to the second island anyway.
Yeah. Now these... So do these teleport items have... Do they have to be used here?
Yes.
Okay.
Here being this particular town, correct?
Correct. We have specific locations that we set out for them.
Okay. I'm guessing when we get there, we'll find our specific location.
Are you interested in expanding to the Dark Island?
Not personally.
Damn it. She's going to see if we could get a discount if we take him to that island. If he hasn't been there yet, he could expand his business. So maybe he would give us a discount. But no, he doesn't want to go.
Get you some more magical items.
Well,
right. Well, at least we have the first item.
Okay.
Or the first island taken care of, which is most important. Muy importante.
1,500 gold if we don't want to find some magical items.
But that should be easy. We can buy something, make
That's
something.
a lot to try and make.
Make? Well, I mean, I would just...
Or trying to pass along.
Oh,
as
yeah.
Impersonate.
Yeah.
Swindle.
Yeah.
I mean, we can look around, but I highly doubt this is a place where jobs of any type of that nature would be posted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if everything that you've heard, these are the best.
Yeah. I believe it.
That's what you came here for.
That's true. We could just go outside and spend a day and see if we can make some more money from performing.
That's true.
Or you can try and perform in the super upper class fucking bar and see if you can persuade them like that chick did.
By the way, does anybody remember what y'all's alignments are?
What my alignment is?
Both of you.
Yeah?
You want to remind everybody?
Oh shit, I don't know. Why is this becoming so relevant right now?
Because we're acting in an evil fashion. I am lawful neutral.
You're acting just fine.
Yeah.
I think you're neutral good.
I'm neutral good, yeah.
So I would say that for that you'd have to make a persuasion check on him.
Mm-hmm.
And in return...
On who?
On you.
On me, why?
And because what she's trying to do is she's going by her alignment, but what she has to do is she has to present it to you in such a way that makes you think that it's the right thing to do. So for her to get you to do something like scam people, she has to present why that is actually the best thing to do.
Okay.
So she has to persuade you in believing.
Persuade.
Otherwise, you wouldn't want to go along with it.
That's weird when you do that.
So you have to do a persuasion check, and I guess you would have to do... I don't know, what would it be?
I matched it.
Nice.
Nice.
Interesting. So, if we look at it from the point of view that deception is versus insight, looking for the lie.
Mm-hmm.
Persuasion is attempting to alter your perception of things, but not so much your visual perception as in the perception roll. This is the way that you think. So,
intelligence?
It would be a defense against your wisdom. Because your wisdom is your street smarts, the way that you perceive the world. Intelligence is your ability to remember things and piece things together.
Oh. Okay.
So persuasion against your wisdom.
Wisdom.
You rolled a what?
He hit
14.
hers.
14 and matched.
Yeah.
14, which is 14 out of 17.
Wow. It's like you put up a good argument, but he's not entirely sold that influencing them the same way that the waitress did you guys is absolutely necessary. Because again, generally you don't see that as the necessary right
see what
thing
you're
to
saying.
do. Like, these people have done nothing wrong. Yes,
Right.
the waitress did well.
Right,
and that's a good tactic, dear sister, but these people have done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Like, they don't deserve to be stolen from or abused. And you have pride as an artist. I'm sorry, but my pride I'm worth that. If I'm gonna earn it, I'm gonna earn it.
Right.
Now, you have no problem making people friendlier because to you that I'm bringing joy to them.
Right.
But you're not influencing them to give you money. You would do that to say, if you found out the local mayor had been raising taxes very unjustly, so you persuaded him to tip you, kind of like a Robin Hood thing.
Right.
But there's different circumstances in that particular case. Here, you're not persuaded that that's really the best course of action.
Okay, well then how about we just go to the lesser nice part of town and do it over there.
I thought you were just going to fuck with them mentally. But...
You see,
He tries not to manipulate him.
Because you guys don't have 1,500 gold, right?
I mean, we do.
We do. We just don't want to
just-
spend
yeah,
it.
we don't
Well,
want-
how much are you willing to spend?
None.
Yeah, I would like to spend none.
Coming from the
because
manager.
think about it. I mean, you can manipulate that of 2 magical items in 500 or 1,001. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you definitely have
Yeah.
options other than trying to play to just directly those two. I mean, again, you guys have the option to work with. These are just the best people that you found, and then this is what they've approached you with.
So, okay. Hypothetically speaking, if I were to go out into a place like where we are right now, and I were to scour around, what would be the least expensive magical item that I could find for purchase? Could you give me a price range on what that would be? Like, would there be any magical item I could buy for less than a gold?
No.
The other option could be do a show or something in this tavern to kind of get us more attention.
Mm-hmm.
Then, at the close of the show, you know how artists usually do the thanks, I'll be here all night or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can be like, thanks, we'll going to the Island of Light next for our next performance or something like that. And get kind of people's interest that way. And then we could try again, ask around to see if anyone's going that direction already.
Right. Okay.
Because then we have less that we need to, like...
Then they have more competition, and they're like, if they really want our business, they might be willing to,
And you would prove
Bring it down a
also
little
who
bit
you
more.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that way we're not scamming them. We're just...
So do you go approach the bartender and see about doing an open mic night? Or do you go talk to the band?
I'd probably go to the bartender. If we want to try this, I'd probably go to the bartender and be like...
Do you know who I am?
No. Something along the lines of like, hey, that's a great band. Who do I speak to if I want to sign someone else up to perform?
Are you with her?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm always with her.
So this particular gentleman seems to be not very young. Definitely old enough to, he's probably 19 or 20.
Mm-hmm.
So he's here. This is his life. He's gotten settled here. He's probably thinking of finding someone soon. But still young enough to really not have a lot of life experience and still be kind of awkward. A little bit, hasn't
Okay.
really
Is that first job energy going?
Yeah. He kind of looks up at you, and he starts to kind of do that. He starts to point over, and then as he looks at you, you see that he looks just past you and over your shoulder. And as he does that, he goes, well, yeah, you could... And then he just runs off. And then he goes and tells the manager.
Wow, that was easy. I didn't even have to walk anywhere. Like, that's the type of attitude that she kind of has every once in a while. She's definitely trying to, like... She's enjoying this kind of posh lifestyle that they have here, so she might be pulling on it a little bit.
I was slightly oblivious to what happened
You're
because
just-
I was
it's
in
fine.
the background.
Essentially,
kind of just,
you
looking
just
around.
saw this. I mean, because how old are you? You're about the
We're
same
the same
age.
age. We're the exact same age. We're 17, but did we go up a year since?
Yeah. So basically, this kid's just a slightly bit older than you, but a lot less life experience.
Mm-hmm.
And you see him talking to her, and then you just see him kind of look at you and just stare, like just
I'm like,
obliviously, and then he just
Short-circuited his
runs
brain.
off.
Hey, what you doing, bro?
So a moment later, a much older gentleman walks up. Seems to be kind of scruffy, very very distinguished. Looks like they've spent some years in the sun, so probably an ex-sailor. He walks up. Initially goes to greet you, but then notices that you're standing essentially right in front of him. So very commonly you're used to that double take of he goes for him and then but then gives you all due respect of.
Even more funny if she's shorter than you.
Did you guys have your heights?
How tall are you?
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Or did we really go twinsy, super twinsy, and be like?
Exactly the same.
I don't know. I'm 5'9".
I'm 6 foot exactly.
Yeah,
Okay, so she's a couple inches shorter.
So Ala will be slightly taller behind Sophia, which is why they go for the eye contact and then realize, oh, hello, excuse me.
Because she's got her arms
not-
folded. She's got that. Excuse you.
I mean, then again, he is the artist.
Oh.
So he introduces himself as the purveyor of this place. He does give you a name, but he says, "But just call me Skip."
skip.
It goes place.
She kind of like continuing on with that kind of attitude thing. She kind of do the like eyes down, up, once over thing. Kind of. You don't look like a skip.
He goes, but I do know who you are. Word travels quite fast, and a few of my staff recently on holiday have reported back of having seen you. Well, not recently. Recently, in terms
a year
of,
ago.
Yeah, a while back, they reported having seen you, and your name has been well known with some of the other travelers that we have seen come from the island, or from the main, from inland.
Yeah.
And he says, so you are interested in performing tonight?
I would love to do a performance for you guys. I think it would be an awesome show out here.
I could just imagine your
crowd.
character being, "Oh, you're so wonderful. You're so wonderful. Thank you for your support." You're too much. Of course, I'd be willing to play for you.
Come on.
Stop! You've never heard of me before. What are you talking? He goes, well, absolutely. We'd love to be able to fit you in the house band. It typically has the floor, but I don't think that they would have any issue giving you some time.
Oh, sounds good to me.
Excellent. Such a kind host. Thank you, Skip.
It was absolutely
wonderful.
I will let the stage manager know, and then he will return to discuss the terms. Okay. And he says, by the way, drinks are in the house for you guys.
Oh, you're too kind.
He goes. He lets the
you.
stage manager know.
Thank you.
It'll be a few minutes, but he'll come over and speak to you guys.
She'd kind of like get up on a bar stool, all like with her legs crossed and her hands like on her leg, being back straight. Definitely doing the yes, serve me.
Indeed, thank you.
Both of you go ahead and roll charisma checks.
Oh, please and thank you. It's my favorite roll to make.
Oh my god, I'm bad at this.
What'd you roll?
I had 2. She falls out of the chair.
No, you're not making a dex check. It's more like you're trying to do the sexy look and then you do duck lips instead.
Oh,
you do everything. You're just like, like everything was perfect up until the end where you were just like
in an anime where they're scrolling up the body. It looks great. Get to the face. What the hell?
Yeah, you were doing everything right, and then at the last moment, just duck lipped it. What'd you roll?
18.
Out of
19.
You, on the other hand, who everybody's really paying attention to.
Or maybe she sneezed, and then she just has a really terrible face.
The paparazzi just got there at the wrong moment. He's just like looking glorious, and you're just like...
Just like, jeez. 29? 71. 9. 20s and 9s. Lovely.
Just so, everybody knows, I rolled for reactions and everybody's interest, because now that you've done that, that kind of stirred enough people to happen to notice that you got the manager's attention.
Oh.
So the manager, the stage manager, comes up. He seems to be a much older gentleman. Doesn't look like he's ever really seen the seas, but looks intelligent. He introduces himself as Arthur, the stage manager.
Arthur, the stage manager.
Yes.
At the skipper.
And basically, he introduces himself, says it's a pleasure to have you here, then presents to you, doesn't even ask or even make a gesture as if it's even in question. He just looks to you and essentially asks what are the terms. So essentially you recognize he's the first person to immediately go, oh, greetings. So how are we doing this? He's now...
businessman.
Yeah. But you like that about him is he recognized you immediately.
Yeah. So what are our normal kind of going rates? Would we usually charge like?
I thought we talked about this at some point.
We did.
Yeah.
Way early on. Did anybody write it down?
I know. And you kept put to me for all of this stuff.
Well, because I can't type things on a tablet.
But you guys were assuming that I wrote everything down, and we're trying to figure.
You said you were going to.
I was gonna try.
No, it sure didn't happen.
Of course.
What?
So that means we have to redetermine now what we charge, or if we just say we just want tips. Like, what is our usual agreement with businesses that we have you perform in?
I would say the most common route would be for us to say, hey, this is how much we perform, and this is how much it costs for us to go up, and the fact that we're there will bring them more business.
But also keep in mind that this isn't a touring performance. You don't have a stage that you prep and all your stuff. You're literally asking right here, right now, hey, if we get some stage time, can we perform for your crowd? Right. So he's asking essentially, it's okay, so what are the terms of this? Like, what...
You know what? In this particular situation...
Are you just doing this just because you want to? Because that's fine.
They won't say no to free
in this particular situation...
That's why he's talking to you, because he's like, so...
And that's why
you want to perform, do you? What's the deal?
Yeah, which is why all of this would have been mentally, or something we had decided before. So
this isn't at the table.
And I would say, even with that, like with this particular situation, I would think we'd wanna donate this to the establishment. Donate our like if we wouldn't charge anything for this. Like all of our proceeds or something like that would go to them or something.
So how about this? Maybe then catering it to a little bit to the current situation. She could probably consider presenting the option of like, hey, we'll perform to get you, that ability to say like, oh yes, they performed here, to kind of boost their notoriety in a general sense, but also to possibly bring in more people as we're playing, because they will hear the sound and word might spread depending on how long you want to play for. So
essentially get the hype going around the people that you're trying to already do a deal with. You're like, see, now everybody knows us. Now, do you want to be associated with us? You're really trying to spread that association,
right?
And basically, what we're looking for out of it is to make.
You want to start a bidding war. You want people to ask to help you.
Yeah, she would basically, if we're gonna go this route, basically would explain it to the guy. It's like, hey, we really need to get to the Island of Light, and we hear all of the best captains come to this bar, so we figured,
we do a show for them and see
who would be willing to take us over there.
Yeah,
that's basically like a trip to get to the island and back. I guess is what they're trying to get out of it. Because I realized the way I had worded it before still implied that they would pay for the trip, whereas we're hoping to get a free trip out of this performance.
Right, gotcha. Okay. Go ahead and roll me a charisma check just to see how well the negotiation goes for your end. Wow. Okay, that's confirmed as a nat 20 for your...
Yeah.
Get it. Get it, sister.
Oh my god.
So we're going to say that they're very pleased to have you here. During negotiations, since you two go back and forth, again, the whole point is to see who names a price first. You eventually, during that whole little play, you realize that he kind of lets it slip that you might actually be the most famous, well-known people who have played in this bar.
Oh, snap.
And that gave you a big leg up on the negotiation.
Yeah. So
essentially what they agreed to is not only our, food and drink on the house for you guys.
No, just me.
Just obvious.
Lodging?
They don't do lodging here. They will also put in a couple questions around and see who's going that direction for you and put in a good word. They'll really try to use their best resources.
Well, no, if someone's already going that direction.
Yeah, they're gonna really do what they can to find you and requisition you somebody, even if someone's passing by.
Right.
Maybe they can do a drop-off.
Yeah.
And he said, don't worry about the house band. I don't think they'll mind letting you cover some floor time. Normally, you would have had to pay for floor time because you're taking it away from the house band.
Oh, okay.
Or you'd have to pay for, the floor space, and then you'd get the tips. Gotcha. But in this particular case, they're just saying that they don't think that there's going to be a problem. We got taken care of, so you don't have to pay to be on the floor. That's why he asked you, so what's the terms? We wanted you to say how much are you willing to pay to be on our floor. But you cracked it and realized we're better than anybody you've seen before.
Right.
So you basically get the floor time, and they'll try to put in some words, but other than that, there's not anything that they can do to really help you get travel.
Hey, that's good enough for me.
Sounds good. I think all I need now is a drink.
Definitely would have arrived at this point.
Yeah.
So he kind of arranges it. He says it's really whenever you're ready to go up, just let Ben know, and then you can kind of take over, and you guys can do what you do.
Sister, I'm nervous.
You're telling me this out loud or mentally?
in the head.
Okay.
Like you just got your drink and I just got mine. Kind of working up the nerve to go up there. I don't know.
Whatever. It's just like when we were on tour. You'll be fine.
But these guys are so fancy.
Don't worry
So
about
fancy.
it. Just imagine them. Can I send like mental pictures as part of our connection?
Yes, you.
If you just send me a picture of some old guy in their underwear, I want to be so mad.
Just think about
No.
this.
No, she's gonna.
Just remember Dad. You'll be fine.
She's just gonna. She's gonna project the image of just the view of what it might look like looking out at the crowd, but everyone, instead of wearing super fancy clothes, is just wearing like regular clothes. So she's starting nice at first.
Starting small.
It's just they're just like regular people. It's fine. Don't look at their fancy clothes.
You know, there are powers you could have to actually make him see all of that.
I know, but I don't have them. trying to motivate you by saying, look, they're nothing. They're just regular people. You're fine. You're fine. And if you're still freaking out by that, go turn them into dogs.
Dogs wearing regular clothes.
Yes.
Those are very disproportionate.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
You'll be fine.
I love dogs. I love dogs.
Is your character actually saying that, or is it just you?
No, that's just me.
All right, so how are you going to approach this performance?
Oh, goodness.
Like, kind of build it for me. First off, what type of performance this time? Because remember, you have a lot of different types
Yes, I do.
what you consider performances.
Yes, I do.
So, as a bard, that's kind of the beauty of it, is you get to manipulate what exactly you're doing for this situation.
Okay, so I hope this is not like too elaborate, but because of the setting that I am in, and how classy I feel like this place is, we're gonna start off with a little slam poetry session.
Oh man.
And
Oh man.
I'm gonna do some
So we're starting with poetry.
sea shanty slam poetry.
Slam poetry.
Yes.
What is slam poetry?
I don't know.
So it's going to be nautical themed poetry.
Yes.
Which is, I envision what you're talking about is speech singing, where you're kind of speaking it out to a beat, but not really singing, and then also fluxing in bardic singing, where you actually sing certain parts and then just go into a rhythmic usage of it.
Yes.
So you're changing your pace, not really adding in music, but adding in enough flair to make it sound like you're singing in some parts.
Yeah, and I want to intro.
Okay.
I want to intro like that, and then at a certain point, I want it to kind of like morph and transform into an actual song with like an entire with the band accompaniment. And like while I was doing the slam poetry type thing, it'd still be like playing softly in the background, but it wouldn't be.
Who's playing the music?
You said there was a band up there.
There's the house band, but they're not backing you up.
Oh,
You're taking the stage.
Oh, belay my last. So if that's the way it is, then
you were a solo performer. I mean, like you were like the. That's why you're so.
I mean,
famous.
yeah,
You're
but
one
I
of
thought
the
they wanted to
solo
be up
acts.
there with me. I thought they wanted to, but I didn't. Okay, that's fine.
I get up there for certain...
I mean, you didn't ask them. If you wanted to incorporate them, that's a totally different story. But I mean, the idea was that you're trying to do this for you.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. Okay,
so we're gonna start out with this really interesting, unique usage of poetry, then get into some bardic poetry, then get into full-blown song.
Yes.
Got it, okay.
Then flow into song, and then I am going to basically at the very end of my song, I'm going to kind of flow into a story.
Okay.
And that story is going to be our story. And it's going to be the story of us continuing on our journey to the next place, which is where we're trying to go. Which is how I want to kind of bring it back home with, hey, this is why we're doing this performance, so that we can get transportation to help continue this story.
Okay, so we're going to do a series of rolls. So that is 4 parts to your performance, and it is one overarching theme to one overarching accomplishment. So what we're going to do is we're first going to roll your performance.
Okay.
So you're going to do the first 4, which are just going to be D20s, and we're going to see how well you perform. Then we're going to roll another d20 to see how well your overarching concept got across. Then we're both going to roll percentiles based on it to see how the reactions compare.
Okay.
I'm not going to go into more detail than that, but
there's
other episodes that I'll get into why I do certain roles. But
okay.
That is the series. So first, let's do your poetry session.
So you said 4 d20s.
So yeah, this is going to be the first four. This is going to be the 4 sections of your performance.
Okay.
So the first, we're going to go through the poetry.
Okay.
So how well do you perform this?
All right. And what is my performance against again?
This is just a flat d20.
We're just, flat D20.
The higher the better.
Okay. 13.
Okay, so better than the average poet. So, but I mean, it's also the intro. You don't want to, bust it out too much.
Okay.
And it's also new. It's also unique. We're gonna flow that into that different level of song poetry.
Mm-hmm.
And then so go ahead and make a roll there.
16.
So better. So now you're getting the pace down. You're getting the flow of it. You're getting well to on their reaction. And then now you bust out full in actual like performance song.
Mm-hmm. 19.
So now you're in your groove. Now you are absolutely like this is your comfort zone, right? Like you are a fucking bard. This is what you're built for. And your song is glorious. And this is really where you're telling that story. This is where the story begins. And now you begin to transition that story into where you became now. And now we need to end it with where we need to go.
It's like a storytelling.
Yeah, so now we're going to end
it's
it
out of the song into a storytelling.
Yes, not even poetry. This is just a straight story. I'd laugh if it was a 20. That'd be fucking amazing.
17.
Still.
Went down.
Still, like, being a performer the way you are, it's absolutely natural that your song was the highlight. I love the fact. And again, as a bard, storytelling is also, like, one of your top things. You're not that great at poetry. Who fucking cares? You're better at singing. And guess what? Your singing poetry was better than your poetry.
That is true.
So that right there tells me that right now in canon, you are just a better singer than you are a poet.
That's all right.
But you're a better storyteller than you are a poet.
That's very true.
And you're a better storyteller than you are at trying to sing poetry. But you're still a better singer than anything else.
I'm okay with that, because that's what I use most of my everything with,
music. That's all you want. So, did you want to interject anything during that performance before we get to how well he got his story across? Because you still have one d20 to go.
Yeah, I was checking my skills to see if there's anything I could really do. Something I could try is make contact with the portals guy. Mm-hmm. And if I'm able to make contact, then do a post-hypnotic suggestion and try and, like, implant in his mind, like, hey, maybe you should offer us a better price now that you've seen what we can do.
Okay, so just try to subliminally put something in there. Okay.
Because right now, he's our best option.
Mm-hmm.
And if this doesn't get us any other options, then maybe we could go back and try and renegotiate.
Okay, so up to you. What do you want to do?
Yeah, let's try that. So...
You're going to make contact?
Yeah.
Okay. So while you're doing that, go ahead and roll your final d20 to see the accumulation of did the story arc through all of your performances continue. Your performances were great, but did everybody catch the whole purpose?
I don't think I can keep rolling this high. This is going to run out eventually.
Well, I beat it.
Yeah, so you rolled under it, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Then, yeah. Okay, so hold on.
14.
14. Okay, so yeah, so for the most part, everyone caught on. At least at the end there. And then, against each other, now we're going to roll percentiles.
Oh, damn it.
All three of us?
No, just he and I.
Oh, okay.
Look at this spike.
And go! Wow.
What'd you roll?
He got 63.
Okay. No, but that's not bad. That's good reactions all around. Overall, the entire bar is just kind of going crazy at the end of your performance. Like, that was probably the best thing they have ever seen.
Money's flying.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. Perception.
Sylvia, your perception is great.
Matched it.
This is a good rolling day.
Just like in the middle of his actual song portion of it, they added 3 bartenders.
Because that's how many more people are in the bar? Wow. Is there money up on stage yet? Because I feel like people should be putting money.
Well, there's really not like a stage. There's just like
just
more
the
like
corner
a dance
where
floor.
he's at,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
there's more of a dance floor that's cleared out.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's people like dancing places. There's just people everywhere. There's not a lot of standing room. There's definitely no sitting room at the moment. The bar's packed by the end of it, like because it was a long performance. I mean, you know, for bar performances, it's not 2 minutes a song. I mean, that was quite a while.
Like a couple hours, maybe?
No. That I mean,
At least an hour?
I would say that, yeah, your entire performance was at least an hour for 4 parts. So, in that entire,
some
hour...
stamina for a freaking hour.
Well, but that's why each part is different, because it's not a stage performance.
Yeah.
You know, you're just... That first part, that poetic part, was probably about 10 minutes. Then your sing-song was probably more like 15 minutes, and then you went probably a half hour into music. And then you finished the rest of it off with a good storytelling, calming the crowd down. Like getting right when you had everybody's attention. And then while that performance was happening, you got a great, phenomenal response from the crowd. And in the midst of it, you hit a wall.
Oh shit.
When I try to make contact?
Oh shit. Oh shit.
You know you did it right.
Oh damn it.
Can I tell if anybody else is doing anything? Or just that it didn't go anywhere?
Well, you successfully reached out. You know what that means.
Yeah, that they defended against it.
Yeah, naturally.
She would probably curse mentally.
Oh. Ow.
Just randomly during the performance. Ow!
Ow.
Ass! Mercury's ass!
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
Remember? That's your canon.
I know.
That is your
My
catchphrase.
character loves to curse saying Mercury's ass. But usually only when it's out loud.
Yeah.
Usually if it's internal.
But yeah, so relatively you don't have to worry because there's nothing really that gives you away unless you were, being dumb and like staring at him. Like, what are you doing?
I feel like she's been doing it long enough that she wouldn't
Exactly.
be
Well, you
obvious
also know
about
it's something that people just don't trust, so it's just never been something that people would ever say to talk about.
Yeah. Well, she would then, since that was a failed attempt.
Not failed.
Well, it didn't get her the outcome she wanted. AKA failed in her mind.
But it did give you information.
It did. So
That's information you might want to share.
well, would I know at this point that you're proficient enough in your performing that if she tries to like talk to you about random other things mentally, it doesn't like.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
practiced that.
You guys have totally been able to... He wouldn't be able to have a full-on conversation with you.
I'm sure we've
but you
had the
won't distract
situation.
him.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure we've had the situation where she goes into people's minds while I'm performing to get more information. Hey, play about this. Play about this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You know.
You can't have full-on conversations, and you can't really comprehend a full understanding of a plan or anything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But you can feed him, be like, hey, there's one of us here. Like something like that.
Right.
You'd be able to feed him info or point to somebody or be like, the one in the red shirt. Like,
Yeah.
you can give him info and you can understand small bits.
Right.
But your concentration will waver if you try to pay attention too in-depthly to
Right.
anything she sends you.
So yeah, I would just let him know that, hey, the guy who runs the portations thing blocked me.
Okay. And I would just acknowledge it, but
Now,
not
out of
really.
curiosity, would you switch your defenses at this point? Because we really haven't gotten a chance to talk about that, so I'm okay to bring it up on your behalf at this point, because the way that now that you have multiple defenses, based on the way that they're worded, there are some that override the others as your standard or your default.
Yeah, I think the one that I have is a default. Mind blank, I think, is my default.
Yes. And that's why I bring that up, though, is because, remember, you have another one that protects both of you.
Yeah, Thought Fortress, but...
So just keeping in mind that it's always one of those things, because we haven't talked about it yet.
But I have to be in a certain range of her.
But that's the idea, though, is if she doesn't ever say it and someone tries to attack both of you, you won't be protected by it in time. She has to have that one ready to go before the attack happens.
Well, Intellect Fortress, this one I have, right? Let's see. Yeah, Intellect Fortress has a 3-yard radius. So I figured wherever you're performing, I would be kind of off to the side like I normally would.
Mm. Remember, the bar's in the middle of the place, and it's round, so you'd be able to be at the bar that's closest to him. And within, a relatively small amount of time, cover, so you're within 9 feet of her, or, essentially 10 feet.
Yeah, so I feel like my mind blank would be just a passive. Like, that would be...
Yeah, it's just always there.
Yeah, but she wouldn't really consider putting up any defensive... other defensive yet. But that's kind of why she's bringing it up to you, is that, someone blocked me. So, don't be alarmed.
There's just another here that
be a little bit more aware. Because he can sense if someone's trying to... Can he?
No. He doesn't have the same understanding of it.
Oh, okay.
He says he is as susceptible as anybody else.
So, other people would be able to contact me freely.
Yep. Yeah. You are an open mind just like anybody else.
So, either way, I'm not going to worry too much about it because the guy doesn't know it was me. Mm-hmm. And there's enough people in here that it could be any number of the new people who walked in.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Can 2 people contact the same person?
Mm-hmm.
With that, do they know that the other person is being contacted by multiple people?
Talks about it in the book, actually. Because, you guys can actually, like hackers, I believe you can fight over the same mind, but then you 2 have to do a psychic battle.
Is that under contact?
I don't know if it's under contact or under the beginning of the chapter. Can you
sense if someone else is contacting a mind?
I do believe so. I do believe that if you're already in a mind, you can sense if somebody else is entering.
So really, the instant anyone even thinks about messing with my mind, she'll know about it. Because she's got constant contact with me.
Depends on how it reads in the book. But that's a good point.
Okay.
Because I don't remember if that's in contact or if that's in the beginning of the chapter about how psychic battles happen.
Mm.
It's not saying anything yet about a mind that's already been contacted.
I guess what I would have it be is just similar to a psychic battle, is you just have to basically kick the other person out. So it'd be like any other psychic battle. You'd have to roll an attack and a defense, and whoever won either, the first 3 wins or something would be the victor, and you'd get ejected out or something like that.
No, I like that. That sounds good. But I mean, that would be a quick way. Even if she keeps her defenses mind blank, she still has somewhat of a protection over me, because she can instantly be like, "Hey, no, this is my mind. Get out."
We'll have to look that up, for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find anything that talks about it. So, short answer is I am not going to really worry about it.
Okay. Well, as soon as I finish my performance, I would reach out to her mentally and be like, "Hey, did you knock down that guy's door yet?"
That would not be a smart thing to do.
Well, if he doesn't have anything to hide, it should be fine, right?
No, it doesn't matter if he doesn't have anything to hide. As soon as I start trying to break down his walls, he's already on the defensive. He doesn't know who's trying to talk to him.
Oh, that's true.
I would do the same thing. If someone tried to force their way into my mind, I would flip out.
Well,
good point.
Okay.
So you finish your performance.
Crowd's going wild.
Everyone's trying to buy you a drink, but it's like already...
I can only drink one at a time.
Well, it's also that you get free drinks already.
Yeah.
But the bartenders are seeming to ignore that fact.
I'll let you buy him a drink. I'll take your money.
Because everyone is. They just walk up to you like, "I want to buy you a drink. Here, I want to buy him a drink." And the bartenders are like, "Cool, here's your drink, buddy."
Cool.
Pocket.
All right. So, I don't know. I'm shaking hands, kissing babies, doing whatever people do in these fancy situations. "Oh, thanks, it was great, thanks, I appreciate it, this and that, whatever else." And hopefully in the midst of all of this, there's somebody who's offering a little bit more than a beverage, and also potentially offering some potential transportation, since that was hopefully the point.
Well, unless the floor manager had actually made the announcement that, here we're going to perform and what we were hoping to get out of it, I think it would be on me, I guess, to say after the performance.
Well, part of his performance was letting people know kind of like what he was trying to get across the idea that you're in need of moving on.
Yeah, that's what I was... Yeah.
But you would definitely help in being able to establish that. Because, of course, there's a lot of people there who don't have anything to do with it, but a lot of people there who... There are a lot of people who are like, oh, I'd love to take you, but you can tell the different levels of them, and most of them are like, I wouldn't want you to take me. But going back to the others, the Gentle Gemmer, if you would go back to them, he would seem a little...
Garrett?
Yes, neutral about the whole thing.
Neutral?
About the performance.
Do you have no heart, sir?
If you reapproach him about, the position of, so what do you say now? He would actually kind of just look around at the very now crowded bar, almost with just irritation. He would say that if this is the type of presence that you bring along with you, I think I will change the price. And it'll be $150 a night per you and $100 for your friends.
Bye, Felicia.
He is not upset to see you go.
You don't want no trouble. We bring trouble, is what I gathered from that.
Trouble? What trouble? I'm a nice young man.
He doesn't want a party boat. That's what he doesn't want.
He's a straight-up merchant. What he wants a cargo and a destination and a price.
Preferably cargo that doesn't talk.
Fine.
Your buddy at Through the Looking Glass. Do you remember his name?
Clyde.
He was quite impressed with the performance, but it doesn't seem like he's impressed enough to been gracious enough to have seen it, but the price remains the same. Business is business.
Okay. And then what about the portal people that have no name?
Oh, he had a name, I thought.
No, he didn't give me a name.
All right.
He didn't. You've noticed that he has retreated to a back corner of the bar since it's gotten packed. He seems to be at his own booth at the time. But if you were to reapproach him, he says that was quite the performance. And he understood the story that you told and the importance of you essentially making it to your next performance and continuing this journey of a father's goal for his son to become famous. Because I'm assuming, that you embellished it like a bard would.
Oh,
so
of course.
It's like, it was always my father's dream to bring me, to have this gift bring me places. So he would say that, because you guys, I'm assuming, are still prefacing it with 3 people originally, right?
Yes.
So he would say that he would actually be able to allow one of you to pass for free, along with the gear. So essentially your servant can be considered your gear now. And he would be willing to do it for 1 magical item and 300 gold.
And is that to one island or 2?
Per island.
Per person?
For the 2 of you.
Yeah, for both of us. So for 2 islands, we pay 600 gold and 2 magical items.
Correct.
Yeah. Mentally, we still have to figure out how to get magical items that we want to give him.
Yes, but I feel like we could totally do that. So I feel like we should make the deal and then do that.
Well, and do you really need the magical items that you have?
What's that?
So do you really need the magical items that you have?
I want to be a flame demon! Wait. Can we just give him 1 of our PSP berries?
How many do we have?
We got like 12 of them, I think. Maybe 11.
Just give him 2 of them.
Yeah. Give him 2 PSP berries.
No, wait, no.
What?
Hang on.
Uh-oh.
Hang on.
Uh-oh.
I didn't say anything.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that. Hang on.
You want to think about that for a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like my character.
Her spidey senses are tingling.
No one made any movements, so we're just gonna say that he mentally brought up the idea, and then she's like, "Let me think about that."
Yeah, let me think about that. Okay, so character. Character smarter than player.
Character is smarter than player. Congratulations.
Character is smarter than players. So, player finally understands. It just took player a little bit to understand.
Yep.
So for all of you listening who may not know where we're going with this, so my character is a psionicist. She mentally makes interactions with other people. And so earlier, if you had missed it, she tried to make contact, which is a mental connection to another person, specifically this shop person or merchant person, and in a sense was blocked from doing so. They basically said, no thank you. They didn't know it was her, they just knew someone was trying to interact with their mind. And the reason why all of this is important is because these berries that we're referencing are actual berries that have to do with people who have mental ability. So to kind of like mana or magic, if you're a mage, psionists need PSP. And basically these things will replenish it like a mana potion kind of thing. But the only people who should have these are people who have mental abilities. And to offer an item that has to do with mental abilities to someone who blocked a mental contact could be very, very bad.
I see now. Because I see the error of my ways.
Who would just randomly think to offer this random stranger these random seed pods that happen to...
Do you have the ability
How would you know
to
that he...
enchant anything?
No.
I thought you might have.
I don't. Let's see, wait. I think I also have the list of things that we got. So let me double check here real quick. What is your deal?
Wait a second. I've got it. I'll make a divining rod.
A what?
Alright. So just like we talked about, go ahead and recap it. What's a divining rod?
Alrighty then.
You remember how to do it?
I do. No. But I will do my best.
Give it a try.
Alright. So, I am going to cast a spell called Divining Rod.
Level?
Okay, this is a level 1 spell. It requires a vocal component, a material component, and a... what's S?
Symmetrical. But because it has material, does it state what type of material?
Yes, it does. It says... oh, yes. This is going to require a ginkgo fruit tree it's a ginkgo or a fruit tree. A branch of a ginkgo tree or
and we talked about that earlier. You would have definitely been able to acquire that.
Yes.
So what does the spell do to the branch?
So basically, this spell enables the caster to enchant a branch with the fruit, or enchant this branch with the ability to locate an object. Now, the caster does not have to know what the object is, they just have to know that it is lost. And this will be able to find that item for them.
A lost item, specifically? Lost item?
Specifically a lost item.
Unfortunately, the way that reads, because I'm assuming you read it verbatim?
No, I did not.
Because the problem with it is it says the caster. Meaning it has to be the caster using the item. He can't enchant it and then give it to someone to go find the item. He has to be the one to find the item.
Hold on. It says it enables the caster to enchant the branch, and then it says, enchant the branch to locate common item. So it's the branch that locates it, but it's the caster that enchants the branch.
Okay, you said common item now. So is that, because that's different than a lost item.
Do you remember what book's that from?
It does say common item. That was my fault. What book?
Yeah. You know if that's...
It is...
Is that from the Bardic book or the Wizard book?
It is from the Wizard book, because I have the Bardic book.
And what's it called?
It's called Divining Rod. I do not have the page number, I apologize.
97.
97.
Now, the way that the entire thing reads, you have to be the one using it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least at this level, based on where you're at with it, that one is you utilizing the ability.
Caster holds... Yeah, it does say caster.
Yeah, because you're the one sensing your magical ability with it. It's not an actual enchantment spell.
Well, fiddlesticks.
So I will go ahead and give both of you a chance. Roll wisdom for me.
Got it. Also, did you ever find out what was the least expensive magical item in town that we could possibly purchase? You said wisdom, right?
Yes.
14. I have 17.
11 out of 20.
This lady's wise. 20 wisdom. Don't challenge her to a battle of wits.
I am a scientist.
This is quite true. I feel like you're that guy from The Princess Bride. When death is on the line.
Oh, man.
Don't challenge a Sicilian to a battle of wits. When
Wow.
death is on the line. I said that terribly, and I admit it.
Yeah, you keep us from copyright issues.
This is very true.
Probably the cheapest magical item you're gonna find anywhere is 400 right now.
Good to know.
You might be able, if you had a good enough roll, I'd say the cheapest this town would offer right here, 250.
250. Yeah.
What else? What was the next thing?
No, that was because we were just trying to figure out what we were going to use
So you rolled
as
an
the
11 out of
magical
20.
item.
And you rolled a 14 out of 17?
Yeah.
Yes, for wisdom.
I'll say it dawns on you first that so far you've only been taking these guys at face value. I'll say that thought dawns on you first.
When you say face value, does that mean no?
I mean, you can collaborate. This was an idea that your character had.
Hey, sister. We should probably take these guys at more than face value.
We should probably what?
Take these guys at more than face value.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know.
I mean, I like how you played that in game where you're just like, I have this thought. I don't know what it means. Sister, what does this thought mean? What do I mean? Sister, what do I mean when my mind says this? You know me better than I know myself.
Yes. No, but I'm thinking out loud here, like, maybe they're all working together, maybe there is a reason why these are the 3 people that are most likely to help us, and there's really only one clear option throughout all of them. Like, they're clearly the cheapest regardless, and it's going to be instantly getting us there back and forth. That's the only thing that comes to my mind when I think of looking beneath the surface.
Could you interpret what your brother has said there, Sophia?
Did I do a bad job?
No.
Did that not?
So I'll go ahead and let you roll another wisdom check to see if you can get some insight onto what he might be thinking.
Nope, that's worse than the last one.
What was it?
5. Alright, well, I'm gonna make a guess here as to what that might mean.
Was I talking too obscure?
Like, unless it means something like maybe he's asking for a higher price because he can tell that we are not locals, or maybe he doesn't normally charge this much, but he's willing to try and see if he can get more money out of us. Like, maybe.
So what would you do with that?
Well,
What would that indicate if that were true?
that he knows why we're here?
I mean, that is a possibility.
Like, more than he's leading on?
That's a possibility. Because you guys know where you are. And you guys know what you're surrounded by.
Steampunk.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Because... Oh, I know, I didn't drop it. But when I do, I'm glad to know that you'll be there.
Wait. One more time? I truly did not hear that.
What is your name?
Is that information necessary for our dealings?
Well, how do I know you are who you say you are?
Does that matter?
Yes, it does.
Why? If what I have does what I say it does, why does it matter if I am who I say I am?
Because if I go ask one of those people over there, hey, what's that guy's name? And that happens to be a different name than what you give me. Then how can I believe that you actually are the person who owns this portal, whatever, company? She says it like that too.
Go ahead. Ask anyone in this bar. They will all vouch that I am the owner. He just smiles patiently.
And why don't you like to share your name? That seems suspicious.
It's unnecessary to business. I don't need to know.
Necessary to business. I tried so hard not to say it. She's character would not say that. That was a player reaction.
I consider myself a neutral party. I don't like biases to come into play. So I don't bother knowing my clients, and I don't let them bother knowing me. My business is what I care about, and everybody is satisfied with my business.
So what do you do with those magical items you ask for? Do you just collect them?
Sometimes.
Do you have another business on the side, maybe?
Maybe I do.
Would it happen to be for some particularly interesting magical items?
And if it is?
I might be curious.
Then I might be interested. But we can't live off of maybes and mights.
Quite true. Quite true.
But I do know that you need transportation.
Also true.
And I believe you know the price I have set.
Yet another true statement.
I
Mentally.
don't want to deal with him.
Just let me, I will deal with this dude, alright? I know he's not your cup of tea, because he's, ugh. But, and you know that he can, so.
Did you say there was anybody else after the performance who were offering to give us
Oh yes, plenty. There's a lot, but you could just tell that based on their prices or just how they are.
It'll either be a really shady trip or.
Well, it's not that because it's not like just random people have walked into this place, but based on everything that you're hearing, I mean these are the quickest and best priced options. Anything cheaper is going to take you longer. I would say anything cheaper than these three are going to take you at least a week.
Oh damn!
It's too much.
Yeah,
it's way too much, especially on our timeline.
How are we supposed to acquire these magical items that you require?
That's not my business. However, if you need somebody, I can refer you.
Oh, do they have a name?
That depends on if they give it to you. But I do know someone who is good at finding magical items.
Wait a minute. Can magical items be common?
It depends on how many there are.
So yes, they can be.
I mean, if there are a lot of them in an area, then they could be considered common in that area, yes.
Side note. That again.
Yes.
Would your character have ever thought about the book?
In this particular situation?
Yeah. He's asking for magical items. My character's not going to proffer it.
Oh.
She's keeping it.
Yes.
But
yes,
would your
have.
character still be stuck on the whole, like...
I would have. And you know what? I would do this intentionally kind of to throw you off guard on this. Like, as soon as that thought entered my mind, before I brought it up to her, I'd bring it up to him in front of her. And so I say, we got this magical book that we could give you. It's real powerful.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
He kind of raises an eyebrow.
There is no book. Don't
yes, there is.
There seems to be some disagreement within your partnership.
Mm-hmm.
As he's constantly talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure out why she's so obsessed about this book.
I see.
Well, we'll have to try and figure out a way to come up with some magical items.
Alright, we'll figure it out. We'll be back. What is up with you in that book?
There is no book. I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't lie to me, woman. I know it's real. I wrote down everything.
Have you seen it?
Yes. I don't have it, but I've seen it.
Do you like it when he rolls dice?
Randomly.
So as you guys get up to walk away, as you say, it's a good day to see you. Or, it's like,
We'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be back. He goes, pleasure, I'll be here. As you both get up and turn around, and as you get about 3 feet away from the table, you feel it.
Son of a bitch.
Oh dear. What does that do with my mental barrier? Because it's a passive defense, I want to see just what the wording is.
Wait a second. Just out of curiosity.
Well, remember, so your barrier is against a mental attack.
Yeah.
The idea with the psionicist is because you understand it, you're always... So, contact is something that a psionicist just has a natural way of saying, I have to allow it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else, the psionicist just has to jump in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily a defense, it's just... You naturally are going to say, no, I'm not going to let anybody in.
I have a question.
So when someone tries, it's more of a, oh, there's a door here.
Can there be a defense? Now, this is what, to me, I thought of when I heard Mind Blank. Like, your defenses, it lets them in according to what they feel. It lets them into a blank mind. So, like, they didn't feel like a defense, because like you say, a psionicist knows when they did not succeed.
You could do that, but it would be dangerous because you'd have to let them in.
Couldn't you just let them into, like, this fake reality?
You could, if you could partition off your head, but you still have to let them in and give them into that room.
Yeah.
No matter what, in order to manipulate it, you have to let them in.
Yeah, once contact is made, there's not a lot I can do.
She has to force eject them.
Right.
She basically has to either attack them and get them to run away until she learns ejection, which is an ability to force someone out of your head. Otherwise, she just has to attack them until they back out.
Yeah. Because the person who makes the contact and who is given access to contact is the only one who can really break it without having that skill or...
Like I said, it gets complicated when you really get into it, because they'll make contact, then she'll make contact, then they'll do something to her, she'll do something to them, and then they'll both try to eject. It gets kind of crazy.
That is crazy. That's super
crazy. And all while
they're
sitting there having a cup of tea.
So the part now here is either she gives him access, but then again, no, he would know.
It's already too late.
So there's no trying to pretend like that didn't happen, because it.
But the question is do you want to just act like, oh, no big deal, I'm used to this, as in, yeah, I'm a psionicist and I get it, I don't give a shit, or and just try to play it off, or do you want to do the whole of the, okay, now we both know, and just basically do that look of like, okay, let's drop the charade. Now we're on the same page. You could even just shoot him another contact again, just to basically be the, yeah, that's me.
Wait a second.
There's a lot of different ways you can take that.
How long does it take for you to tell me? Did that just happen?
I mean, as instantaneously as she wants. Like I said, you guys have walked about 3 steps, and she felt the tap.
So my question is this: well, if he knows, we can give him the berries now.
That's still assuming that he's not a threat.
If he knows, he's going to be a threat regardless.
Why would we want to give an enemy those items? Or let him know that we have those? Even more so.
Possibly.
Those things aren't common.
Yes.
And if he knows what they are and where you can get them, that could be even worse. Because we don't actually know where these originated from. Like, we know that they came from the flowers, but the flowers may not be... If the flowers made them, the flowers may not be the only type of creature or thing that can make those. So if he happens to know of some other creature that makes those, he could get the wrong... there's a whole bunch of misunderstandings that can happen there of why do you have these.
Or but you're also in a merchant town. That's the other side of that coin.
True.
You're also in a merchant town. Everybody here has some strange thing. I mean, you're talking to a guy who's saying that he's basically implying he can teleport you somewhere. Y'all have never heard of teleportation. Really, out of game we've been saying that. But for you guys, portation, meaning transportation.
Right.
For you guys, you're just thinking, shit, these guys take a week, your ship gets there in a day? Or, and when he said, you can leave whenever you want, meaning it's on standby, meaning, wow, your ship's that fast, and then I can just take it back whenever I want. So keep in mind, too, I should have mentioned that earlier, but again, I'm losing it in the idea that I already know it's supposed to be general knowledge.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea of teleporting hasn't really been established for you guys yet in-game, because as far as you're concerned, these are just super fast ships.
Right.
And they're just waiting to leave whenever you're ready.
Right.
So, would my character be smart enough to know that now that what he's offering is this? Teleport other. A science spell. Could she make that jump of... Now that she knows for a fact that he... Or just someone who happens to have wild talent?
Go ahead and give me a Wisdom -2. Check.
Wisdom -2? For both of us?
No, just for her.
Okay.
12 out of 18.
Nice. So, your discussion with the Celestial Giant, or the Celestial Statue.
Andre.
Yeah, out of game Andre. But during your enlightenment into psionics, they would have essentially opened your mind up, essentially, and you would have seen all of the different understandings, because they were the one that kind of helped you understand the next the next development, your telekinesis.
Yeah.
So yes, you would know it's possible, and you would essentially have like the understanding and knowledge of this. So based off of that, you could make that connection that this guy might actually know this level of power, but would also put you in that position of that means he's probably powerful, or he's focused on just this.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know that this is possible, and now that you know what he is, you could make that link. So do you react, or do you show no reaction to his attempt? And also keep in mind, if he did it to her,
like I said, if he's trying to make contact with me, she should know about it right away.
not necessarily.
That's what I was asking earlier.
Well, I know, but I've been thinking about that, and the thing is her contact is just automatic, it's permanent, but she's not permanently in your head.
Right.
It was a fiction of our, or a result of our twin.
Yeah, right. And then your years of development. But the difference is if I am a psionicist and I go into your head intentionally, just like a hacker, I go into your computer. Mm-hmm. And if she jumps in, I notice that I'm not the only one rooting around in here. Mm-hmm. But what you guys pretty much have is an open walkie-talkie option, except the only difference is she can mute her mic, right? So just because I'm talking to you on the walkie-talkie doesn't mean that she automatically gets that cross-through unless she's actively on an open line with you and then gets the crosstalk. So she would have to actively be in your head doing something, but your guys' communication isn't an automatic feed to your mind.
Unless that whole conversation we were having was internal and not
it was all internal. What?
So would that count as me actively engaging with his mind?
No, that would still be just your walkie-talkie communication.
Oh, okay.
You'd have to be in his mind rooting around, like you would have to be doing ESP on him. You'd have to actually be physically trying to manipulate his mind in some way in order to feel the presence of another. Because remember, your guys are just, every time you technically communicate, it's a one-way thing. You just shoot it to her, and she just shoots it to you. Yeah. And she just has the ability to not listen to you. But if she were actively doing something to you, rooting around with your ESP, giving you a barrier, if she were inside your head working, she'd notice the presence of somebody else.
How many times have I had someone before? Because if it's a really infrequent thing,
very infrequent around here,
I feel like she would have some type of reaction because that's
involuntary and otherwise.
Roller surprise.
Yeah, because that's not something I can really practice or get used to.
Yeah, it's not physical, but it's something. So yeah, go ahead and roll surprise. If you fail your surprise roll, then you'll have made some sort of physical
surprise. Oh Jesus Christ! I get surprised.
What's your surprise roll? A 6?
Well, right now it's saying 0.
It should be a 1 through 6.
Surprise. Ability. Based on dex.
Yeah, it should say 1 through 6. It shouldn't be 0.
No, it has -6 through 8.
If you have a negative surprise, how can you even roll against that?
You don't. It just determines the level of your...
Like how fucked you are?
Yeah. Yeah.
All
so my other character in another game, she failed her surprise really bad. Really bad. And also kind of it caused her to have like a PTSD flashback.
Oh, gosh.
And so she may have destroyed a building.
She destroyed a building?
Well, part of a building.
Yeah, is this
Ness? Yeah. Very Cliff Notes summarized.
Yeah, I have to fix that. Yeah, essentially, when Ness surprise, she has a chance of basically like her version of fight or flight, and it can be devastating if done right. And yeah, she took out some property one time,
and there happened to be a magical item involved, and
yeah, that was funny.
It did more damage.
You blew up a magical item?
Kind of.
She damaged it.
Yeah, backlash. Magical backlash.
Fuck.
Aren't you happy about how that ended?
Oh, man. That poor shopkeep.
That poor shopkeep.
Sucks for that person, though. Sorry, bitch.
Bye, Felicia.
Basically, TLTR, she got put to court to see if she was being just a hooligan or if there's some foul play involved, and the person who made that magical item ended up getting banished from the town.
They were like, oh, yep, well, it's deemed that this was your fault, so goodbye.
Goodbye. Get out.
You're gone.
Goodbye.
Oh, fuck. Oh, damn.
Never
Sucks
allowed
to
to
be
practice
you.
here ever again.
Get out.
So where did
That's what
this was a
was
long? Okay, so I don't even know how long we've been off topic. So what's up? Where are we at?
We were still trying to decide how I'm gonna react to it, and we were checking to see what my surprise was.
Oh yeah, so I would say that because of that, yeah, yours is gonna be, you have to roll a 6 in order to not be surprised.
Okay. 1.
Okay, so you are definitely going to jump physically as if someone like tapped you on the back and you weren't familiar with it. I'm gonna say you were gonna have to make a roll to contain yourself on making an actual audible noise.
Jeez.
Just because you failed with a 1.
What is that? Is that a reflex or
I feel like reflex is
or
good.
a reaction? That's under charisma.
No, reaction's more like your ability to notice something's happening and then
React to it, yeah.
This is your reaction, but do you have a
Reflex?
wherewithal enough to hold it in? I think that would be Constitution.
Okay. Constitution.
Constitution doesn't give enough love. What'd you roll? What'd you roll?
Not
I
again!
think I hurt myself.
Oh shit!
Not again!
Ladies and gentlemen, that was a second 1 in a row.
That was a nat one.
So yeah,
That's-
you yike.
I hurt myself.
Like you.
I think I hit my elbow on the table.
I'm like, no, you don't jump. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say that you had to like jump into a table, but there's definitely a physical like your back shoots straight up and you audibly
Like
yike.
someone poked you in the butt.
It doesn't have to be like you didn't scream, but there was definitely more like a.
And she would totally try to like play it off like, you stepped on my foot!
Yeah, because they believe that.
I think everybody else would.
Possibly.
Most other people probably would.
So with that in mind, do you turn back around or do you just saunter on out?
She would be kind of like,
I still think we should offer him the berries.
are you saying this mentally?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Stomp your foot and stop and go.
Also, do you want to switch defenses? Or can you switch defenses now?
Anytime she wants.
If he already has contact
No,
with
he
me-
doesn't.
No, with me.
Oh.
So I'm saying if you switch to that fortress and he already has contact with me, will that interrupt his contact?
Intellect Fortress is one of the 5 telepathic defenses against unwanted contact to stop attacks. Intellect Fortress has an area. Every mind within the area defends against a telepathic attack.
So no. Yeah, no.
So contact is not considered an attack.
Correct. So once he has contact, she would have to actually eject him out of your head or enter your mind and then have a psychic battle with him.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like she would be incredibly wary of him now. Like, that doesn't happen really ever. So it's like she'd be more paranoid. Maybe the little bit of the book seeping in, especially since he had brought it up. Kind of like no, I don't think I want to do business with him anymore. Like, maybe it's not a good idea. So now you are really going to have to sell it.
Son of a bitch. Alright. So, I vote we continue walking away, at least for now. Especially if I'm getting that vibe from her right now. Also, you knowing that he probably tried to make contact with me, would you go inside my head to try and see if he's there at all?
Yeah. You said ESP would let me determine that?
Yeah.
Alright, so it looks like I need to roll a Wisdom -4. 9 out of 16.
So that's passing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about baking pancakes. That's all you're getting from me.
Random.
Making bacon pancakes.
Is that what your character wants right now?
Yep.
It's lunchtime and that's just what you...
Yep.
Maple bacon pancakes.
That's right.
Okay, so you go in, so you're looking for ESP, right? So you're doing ESP?
Yeah.
So once you go in and start activating ESP, you actually clash a little bit because, yes, there is already that being done, just not by you. So essentially what that feels like for you is you try to go in and it doesn't work, but it's kind of like almost like a fax machine still trying. It's just not connected.
So is it
It's
actually
not
interrupting
stopping.
his as well?
You're not sure, but you do know that you can essentially feel that same pressure, and there is like a little bit of a tension, as in you could push or relieve and kind of feel it going back and forth. So there is a contention of some sort inside.
Odd. And since this has never happened before, I figure she probably doesn't really know what to do with that.
Correct.
And I'm just sitting
She
there
kinda pushed
completely
at it a
oblivious to
little
all of this?
Yeah.
Alright.
Because you just don't have the mental capacity to understand what's happening inside your
I
head.
don't know what's
More
going
of like a
on.
gentle,
I
like-
don't know what's happening.
Get out.
It doesn't push back aggressively, but it doesn't leave easily either. Like, if you keep pushing, you're not sure if it'll fight back any harder, but it's just kind of like, okay. You know, just, it's letting you push it, but you can tell that it's not giving up. Not just, you know, without a fight, but...
Yeah.
This is what you guys are getting the whole time. Like, this is what you guys are listening
Is this
to.
your standard? Is this why I mute myself every once in a
Yes.
while? Because this is all that's going on in your head right now?
I'm just singing random songs.
practicing songs.
That's what it is.
Wow.
It's all
We
that.
got it.
You're gonna do the Congo.
For like the next half hour. That's what
Alright.
you guys are going to be ESPing.
Oh
That's
my
what you guys are fighting over listening to. Just so you know.
Push it all the way out?
Yeah.
There's a slight pushback, but once you really start to push a little bit hard, like just about the time where you're going to put actual energy, it backs out. But it didn't take a lot for you to do that.
Yeah. Keep walking. Right out the door.
Then do you put up Fortress? Then do you put up, like, Intellect Fortress? Just as your way out?
No.
Like, we're done here.
No. She's gonna take on faith that
That was enough.
that was
That he's going to stay
leave
the
us
heck
alone.
out.
You know, leave us alone.
Okay.
So she doesn't want to go fisticuffs if she doesn't need to.
That's fair.
Hypothetical mental fisticuffs.
So do you leave the bar, or do you just walk away from that?
What is your
from
deal
that
with
area?
that fucking book?
Are you going back to that again?
Yes, that's what the whole... I brought it up in the first place. I was so mad about it.
There is no book. What are you talking about?
Why are you being like this?
Why are you being like this, talking about things that don't exist?
Oh my gosh. You think I'm that... I will go into the carriage, and we'll go through all of your shit until I find it.
You don't go through a woman's stuff.
I don't give a damn.
Is this in the bar? I know it's mental, but I mean, is this in the bar, or are you, like, is leaving the bar? Or are you just staying in the bar, and are you going to go talk to other...
I feel like we'd gone to like the farthest
Yeah.
corner as possible.
Away from him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to follow you.
Good. But yeah, I'm serious.
We didn't get any tips from that at all. Like nobody tossed any money on the stage. No one tried to give us money after the show. Like
No. There's plenty of money that y'all could have grabbed from that. Do you want to roll that now?
Roll how much money we got?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Alright, D4. 4.
ooh,
Nice. And then roll me a D6.
come on, 6.
Evens are low, odds are high.
Ugh. Roll a 3. Ooh, a 5.
So high. Then you get to roll 4 D20s.
Ooh, baby.
That is how much gold you guys got.
Lovely. Roll
In various
4 20s.
denominations of coin.
4 20s.
420s. We'll do 2 at a time. Damn it.
Oh.
I got 12 combined.
Okay,
The
and...
first time around.
10 and a 2.
And then 14
10 and a 4.
combined. Second time around.
So, you know, again, these are, you know, high class people, but I mean, that means that the majority of each individual gave 1 to 2 gold coins.
It's good.
In this
It's
area,
not as good as that waitress
26
was
gold.
getting. You got 10 gold from me and 20 from her.
Yeah, but you weren't trying. This is out of their pure, genuine
Yeah, that's
feeling
true.
for your music and your story. Because most of them would have come up and said, hey, look, you know, I wish I could do more But hopefully this, sends you on your way a little bit. Like,
Right.
they're just all just trying to help out. But it's not so much like, a poor man tipping another poor man. I mean, it's like, it's a decent amount of money. So how much was that total?
26 gold.
26?
So think about that. Out of all the places you've ever traveled on this island, that would be on average a person's monthly wage. Like a farmer or a shopkeeper. Like in a nicer area. Like
Yeah.
In capital, there are some people who would make that like every 2 weeks.
Right.
To put that into perspective, that's how much money people tipped you today.
Which is why it's even more ridiculous how much he's asking for.
Right?
And that was the cheapest option.
Shit. Well.
Go ahead and roll wisdom again, now that you guys are all kerfuffled and
Kerfuffle.
thinking of different things.
19 out of 20.
That's much better.
6 out of 17.
So it finally dawns on you.
Hmm.
This probably would have been a lot easier if we had just started negotiating from the get-go.
What do you mean?
Like, actually negotiating prices. Might have been easier if you had led with that.
Like bartering?
Because from the beginning, you guys just took the values that they gave you.
That's
And then you tried to do your story to see if they would genuinely themselves lower the price, which succeeded.
Mm-hmm.
that makes more sense from what you said before.
Now you got it.
That makes more sense.
You took everything at face value.
Yeah. He just threw a fucking number out there. If we agree to it, he's like, fine, that's cool.
I mean, you guys are in the marketplace of
true.
marketplaces.
That's true.
And
That's
you
true.
were really, really on top of it. You were like, you actually said it. You were like, so what if he charges us more because he knows we're from out of town? Or what if he's just trying to charge us more? And I'm like, and that means he's... And then you guys were like, so should we perform? And I'm like, close. So close.
We had to work up to it.
But no, but you guys were right on top of it. But yeah, that was one of the things that you guys were both like starting to realize is that yes, you're in a nicer place, which is probably why you were intimidated about it.
Unfortunately, now he knows that there's some type of book. Depending on if he was listening, he knows that there's
Something.
spores or something.
Right.
So
But
we
yeah.
have stuff.
Yeah, you have stuff to trade, and again, you haven't done that with any of the people, but again, the one person has already raised their price, so that's probably out.
Yeah.
And then,
The guy who would take a day and a half, we could try him again and see.
but he's a one-way trip, but you guys were already planning on making other arrangements.
Yeah.
But this one also makes your plan right if you want to use that city place to go to the Isle of Darkness. This is
I
your
do
best
think that'll
plan
be a
'cause
good
it goes
idea.
there and back.
Regardless. Yeah.
And then it gives you, and again, you guys don't have to get both the islands today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unless, you find out that he's not going to be around. But if everybody here knows him, there's a good chance that you can always come back and get it later. Maybe you find a magical item that you can feel free to give up.
Right.
Yeah.
Or learn that one of the magic items you have maybe is worth giving up. Or, considering that you know that the absolute lowest magical item price that you could get in the city is maybe worth $250, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what his going range is. If he's asking for magical items, and in this particular case, magical items plus 300 gold, which is sometimes easier, that means that he's probably looking for a 500 plus magical item. So it's going to be kind of hard for you to just buy one, otherwise you might as well, not. But you also haven't figured out really what each of your magical items are actually worth.
No, I have it written down.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's
We
where the bartering system comes in,
Yeah.
is what if one of yours is individually worth more than what he's expecting somebody here to be able to produce.
Right.
Yeah.
So, just throwing that idea out there, too, with that 19 out of 20 roll. Now that you're just so flabbergasted over just what just happened, your mind's like...
How dare he?
And then you're just like, man, wasn't it just easier when we just used to negotiate for shit?
Damn it. Okay.
Actually, this is a good breaking point since you guys walked away from the guy. We'll just say that you guys are in the middle of that conversation.